Hello everybody, and welcome to this webinar on mindfulness and compassion in the initial phase of teacher education at universities. My name is Karlheinz Valtl, and I would like to show you how we do that at the Center of Teacher Education of the University of Vienna. And I hope it will inspire you in case you are involved in this field. If you have watched some of the previous contributions in this series, you will already know about the many benefits of mindfulness regarding attention regulation and cognitive skills, emotion regulation and relationship skills, and physical and mental health. These are general benefits of mindfulness found in students and teachers as well. And additionally, there are some specific benefits of mindfulness in education, like a better classroom climate, more nourishing teacher-student relationships, and a marked increase in academic learning outcomes. So it's obvious that implementing mindfulness into schools is more or less imperative. It should be a fundamental part of school education, an element of the DNA of schools and the whole school system, not just a random add-on. And that makes it a big thing to implement, that has to be well prepared. And one of the most important prerequisites is teacher education. If we want to harvest all these benefits, we need teachers who are skilled in mindfulness and who embody it by the way of teaching and relating, the way of thinking, and the whole being. Of course, we also need organizational changes, but even these can only be successful when there are teachers who bring them to life in all facets of their work and by having a deep contemplative understanding of education and of human development. So the aims of teacher education in this field are far more encompassing than just to show teachers how to do mindfulness practices with students. That's fine. But the deeper aim is to lay the ground for a new understanding of education, which is based on mindfulness and compassion. And this is not an easy thing to do. It means challenging deep-rooted personal beliefs and attitudes towards education so that we can build new attitudes related to mindfulness, such as benevolence and patience, non-judgmental openness and compassion. And we also have to confront traditional notions of school normality, replacing them by a vision of a mindful and compassionate school life. So, in summary, integrating mindfulness into teacher education means reconstructing the whole way of thinking and feeling about education and introducing a new paradigm of pedagogy based on mindfulness and compassion. That's the aim. Now, how can we reach there? When I started this seminar, I realized that there were no prototypes that I could copy worldwide. There were several teacher education programs on mindfulness, but only for in-service teachers, addressing the later stages of professional development. But we also need to lay the ground in the initial phase at the university, addressing teacher-students when they begin to develop their horizon by scientific study. But how to do that? Well, the best researched format of teaching mindfulness is the classical 8-week mindfulness program of MBSR, as designed by John Kabat-Zinn and copied by many other programs. So I tried to align my seminar to that format. Luckily, this is almost equal to the traditional academic format of a 2-semester-hour seminar scheduled every other week, which results in 8 meetings of 3 hours. That's a reasonable stretch for going deeper, and having a meeting every other week is a good rhythm for the students to do the reading and the meditation practices at home and to bring their thoughts and experiences into the class again. These 8 bi-weekly meetings are loosely focused on the following topics. Meeting 1 introduces the whole seminar, presents the first meditation, and lays the ground for a relaxed and friendly group atmosphere. Meeting 2 gives space for the students' experiences with their meditation practice, and it sets the tone for doing that in the way of contemplative inquiry. I will come back on that later. Meeting 3 looks at the concept of mindfulness more closely. Meeting 4 addresses the specifics of mindfulness in schools. Meeting 5 focuses on the research regarding the effects of mindfulness practice. Meeting 6 is sort of a micro-retreat dedicated to all the meditation practices we have learned so far. Meeting 7 discusses the side effects of mindfulness and its potential abuse. And Meeting 8 is focused on harvesting the insights and securing the sustainability of the students' mindfulness practice after the seminar. In the middle of the semester, the students meet in small groups for a self-organized mindful cooking and eating event at home, and this usually is a strong boost for the group atmosphere. And in the end of the semester, we have a big public symposium with external experts giving keynotes and mindfulness practices, and where the students present their insights and lessons learned. The whole event is sort of a mindfulness festival with food and drinks and music with up to 200 people. That's the overall structure of the seminar. Now let's have a closer look into the meeting structure. Each of the 8 standard meetings is roughly structured in a repetitive rhythm that becomes familiar to the students and gives them a holding for their individual learning processes. This rhythm runs like this. We begin each meeting with a mindfulness practice, usually that one that was introduced last time and practiced at home. This is followed by an inquiry into the experiences with the meditation and the home practice. This contemplative inquiry has become the most important setting of the whole seminar, besides the meditations themselves. Then there is a presentation on the topic of the current session, the most academic part of the meeting. And after a short break, I introduce a new mindfulness practice and we inquire into it. Then, if there is still time, we do a mindfulness practice designed for schools and we discuss its didactic implications. And in the end, I give the assignments and we sit in silence for a moment. We have collected feedback on this seminar in many forms, and we are preparing a large empirical study. For the moment, I can say that most of the students praised the seminar, some even enthusiastically. Many of them go deep into the topic, do the mindfulness practices and the related journaling with diligence, and in the end they report that the seminar was a highly valuable input for their professional and personal development. Additionally, there is also evidence that the seminar helps them to understand education more deeply and that it supports the enactment of scientific knowledge in their future practice as teachers. About the sustainability of the mindfulness practice, I'm a bit more skeptical. I suppose that about 1/3 of the students will stick to a regular practice after the seminar, due to high workload. But some of them give me notice, even after years, that the seminar has changed their life and has given them a new perspective on their job as teachers. And that is something very rare in current academic education. I would like to end with some recommendations in case you would like to give such a seminar as well. First of all, it's important to let meditation be the backbone of the seminar. Most of the learning comes out of the practice, and so a stable meditation practice is one of the most central aims of the seminar. Second, to support that, we must provide enough space for inquiring into the students' experiences with meditation. And this also helps them to build the attitude of a contemplative practitioner who can reflect on education and in his own work in a deep way. Third, we should give enough scientific input, of course, but more in moderate doses than in longish lectures. Instead, there should be an ongoing emphasis on experience-based learning. Fourth, I recommend building a firm seminar structure with clear expectations. Within this framework, we can practice a warm-hearted and compassionate relationship with the students. And lastly, we should invite the students' ownership of the seminar by relating with them on eye level, by respecting their way of being, and by integrating their needs. There is no need to control everything. We can trust in the students' individual, often non-linear and unpredictable learning processes. If you want to know more about our project on mindfulness in teacher education and about the seminar, you can have a look at our website here. And on this page, you can learn more about our next symposium, and you will find colorful documentations of the previous symposia. So, thank you for listening, and send me an email in case you want to know more. Goodbye.